Welcome to my channel and thanks for joining. Today's video will feature the restoration of this rather strange item. I purchased it two or three days ago in a market in Portugal, and at the time I didn't know exactly what it was used for, and I've been able to establish that it's actually an olive oil dispenser. It would have been used in shops in around the 1950s to sell olive oil in the quantity that the customer wants to buy. It would sit on top of a barrel, and this handle would dispense the olive oil from here. Unfortunately, the handle at this moment does nothing. You can see that there's a mirror here and there's a window, and you can see it would display here the quantity that this is going to deliver. And if I turn it round, you can see there's a mechanical device here which is totally solid, it's seized. But this would be set to the quantity that you want to deliver, whether it's a litre, an eighth of a litre, a quarter of a litre, etc, etc. So without further ado, it needs to be dismantled and restored. I now have the dispenser disassembled, and you can see all the parts. So we've got the glass tube, we've got the base, we've got some gaskets, we've got the rods, nuts, we've got the dispenser tube with a tap on the end of it, we've got the head, we've got some other parts. These are the mechanisms that go inside the head, the dials. I've got the hand crank. This is basically a hand crank and a rack and pinion, which you've got here. Got some springs which are not in very good shape, and a seal, or a pair of seals, sorry. So what I've decided to do is to concentrate on certain areas first, split it up into sections. So it's probably likely that I'll be starting with the aluminium parts. You can see I've now separated out the aluminium parts. This is where I'm going to start the restoration, and we can see we have here, this is the base, the glass cylinder fits on top of here, this is all aluminium. We've got the head, again aluminium, some other components fit inside here. We've got the dials, these are the dials which fit onto that face there, and they control the quantity which the device will dispense. This is a simple hand crank, goes on the hand crank, and these are the supports for the leather seals which go into the cylinder. I think that the easiest way to start this with these two components is with an ultrasonic cleaner. It should take this material, clean it up relatively well. I now have these aluminium parts painted. Here we can see the aluminium parts, which the main body castings have been painted, and the masking removed, a few little touch-ups made. The rest of the items, this is the main dial and hand crank part, and these are parts which locate the seals on the piston. So now I can move on to the next area. I've now got a collection of more parts of this puzzle. They're mostly metal parts, mostly brass or bronze. So these will all need to be cleaned up, and most of them nickel plated, like these nuts, these studs. These will need to be plated. Well, it's all certainly a lot cleaner than it was before, so I've got something to start with. I'm going to start electroplating some of these components. I've got a nickel plating bath, and here's one that I put in just to check that it works okay. This is the biggest part for nickel plating. Not really much to see, unless you like watching paint dry. Here we can see the metal parts, which have now been nickel plated. They need to be buffed up a little bit, make them look a little bit brighter. These are the metal parts after a little bit of buffing. I think we can safely say that the finish is not bad. Mirror, mirror on the wall. No, not really. Only joking. This is the mirror. It's the side which faces the customer or the client on this dispensing machine. And it's got a logo in it and a window. And I initially thought that I would have to remake these logos in some way. The actual mirror is a complete mess. It needs to be repainted. I'm going to try and clean this up with turpentine. So this is now not a mirror, it's a piece of glass with a logo etched in it, and I've masked off this hole. So now all I need to do is use the mirror paint and see how it comes out. This is now the finished mirror. I painted the back, masked this hole, and to be quite honest with you, I've not seen many miracles in my life, but this is almost one of them. This is the next problem. These are the two leather seals which fit into the glass cylinder. They allow the olive oil to be lifted up and then pumped out. But obviously they've been left a long time inside the cylinder and have become dry. They're made of leather. So I've got a plan. It involves a piece of leather and it involves this special tool. So let's see if it works. Now I just need to make two of these washers. These are the washers which fit at the top and at the base of the glass cylinder. Again, they're made out of leather. This is the great bit. This is where all the springs jump out. Now we can see that the dispenser is completely finished, totally restored. I just want to show you a few aspects of it. This is the dial for dialing in the quantity of olive oil that you're going to deliver to the customer. So at the moment it's set on 0. So if I click this, let's say to half a litre, by turning the handle it will lift the piston and it should be lifting up olive oil to the volume of half a litre. I then go to the reverse and it should be pumping out the olive oil for delivery from here. Let me try with 1 litre. So I go up here, it now should be drawing up 1 litre of olive oil, reverse, and then it should be delivering that olive oil out of this tap. Let me just turn it round. can see the restored mirror, and I can just show you through this window. You can see the quantities which the device should be delivering. Half a litre, 1 litre, etc, etc. So all it needs now is to set it up with a tube underneath it and see if we can lift up and deliver olive oil. But just before I do that, I'm going to show you some, it's only a few seconds of some photographs of this before and after. Now we can see the device is now mounted on top of a bucket with the olive oil inside it, and I've got a tube connected to in here. So now we can set this to whatever we want, a litre, half a litre, quarter of a litre, eighth of a litre, half a litre, and we can draw up the olive oil and we can pump it out to make a delivery to a customer.